TBC News, our top stories. Nanenane Expo 2024 uncovers further Tanzania's agricultural potentials. U.S. commits over $20 million to curb food loss and waste.
Partners directly with local farmers, businesses, agriculture organizations, and communities.
Good evening, I am Faida Ngaga. You can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBC Online. Also, get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and X pages at TBC Online. President Samia Suluhu Hassan says her government is determined to achieve better and inclusive economy for Tanzanians by creating even better investment environment in the agricultural, livestock and fishing sectors. President Samia made the remarks during the climax of the Farmers' Day, famously known as Nanenane Fair, which this year has been held in Dodoma. Here's a report by Halfan Ali, read to you by Teddy Mpalanyanga.
It is around 10 o'clock in the morning when President Samia Suluhu Hassan arrives at Nanenane Zunguni grounds in Dodoma to lead the nation to mark the climax of the day. Thereafter, she gives her directives.
Nawataka kuwa mikoa na kuwa wilaya.
I want the regional and district commissioner to think of such plans that align with the areas in order to bring serenity to our nation. Our aim is to reduce the use of traditional methods of livestock keeping. Herders should be livestock keepers who follow modern methods of the practice.
What followed were instructions to those responsible for agriculture, livestock and fishing sectors.
Ili mageuzi makubwa tunayofanya kwenye sekta za kilimo, mifugo na uvuvi yalete matokeo.
Another issue is in order to make revolutionary and beneficiary changes in the agriculture, livestock keeping and fishing sectors that bring economic development, we must build strong cooperative associations. So I urge the Ministry of Agriculture to put more focus on this.
The issue of subsidies on agricultural inputs and livestock vaccination campaigns were also touched upon.
Umetoa ruzuku mwaka jana zaidi ya bilioni 180.
Last year, you offered more than 180 billion grants, and some of the farmers even remind us when some of the facilities are required. And as a president, you have requested us to continue to offer grants up to the year 2025-2026.
Katika mwaka huu wa fedha wa 24-25.
According to your direction, in the financial year 2024-2025, among the projects that we are going to conduct is a campaign for vaccinating livestock and identifying all our livestock in the country. This campaign will help us to subsidize the cost of vaccinations that the livestock keepers used to face.
The Nanenane exhibition is an annual event held in Tanzania to commemorate the founding of Farmers' Day, celebrating achievements in agriculture, livestock and fisheries sector.
The ambassador of the United States of America to Tanzania, Michael Battle, says USAID will continue more to leverage private sector investment to reduce food loss and waste through partnership that will bring up to 20 million shillings to help turn agricultural waste products into organic composts and nutritional alternative for animal foods. He made the announcement during the climax of the Nanenane Expo 2024 in Dodoma earlier today. The event was graced by the President of Tanzania, Samia Suluhu Hassan.
Through the Feed the Future initiatives, USAID partners directly with local farmers, businesses, agriculture organizations, and communities to improve productivity, promote nutrition, and reduce food loss and waste through efforts such as the commercial dialogue.
Furthermore, Ambassador Battle has applauded the efforts done by the sixth phase government to create positive investment environment in the country, vowing that the U.S. will continue to be a close partner of Tanzania in all its development endeavors.
are working together as partners in harmony and synchronized to increase international trade and economic empowerment in Tanzania. Programs like USAID, USDA, and many, many other programs are glad to be present here in this great country.
The UN Food and Agriculture Organization estimates that around the world, about a third of food intended for human consumption is lost or wasted. This amounts to over 1 billion tons of food and $940 billion in economic losses annually, while 1 in 9 people remain undernourished. Remaining in Dodoma, Tanzanians have praised this year's Nanenane Expo, signifying the important contribution of the farmers to the country's economy. They expressed the praise during the climax of the Nanenane Fair in Dodoma today. The event was attended by various government officials, graced by President Samia Suluhu Hassan. Vitam Ganga has more details.
It is the climax of the Nanenane Fair to recognize the importance of the farmers to Tanzania's economy, and where various stakeholders from the public and private sectors meet together to showcase their products. Some of the Tanzanians have praised the work done by Tanzania's government in organizing and promoting the fair for the year 2024 in Dodoma.
There are a lot of organizations that you rarely find them all together. A lot of international organizations as well. There's FAO here in IFAD. And a lot of also other sectors that you cannot even know that they are there. But so it's really a nice place to be, especially if you are into the agriculture sector and industrial sector and all other sectors that work along with the agriculture sector.
Nanenane, it has been a little bit different compared to other Nanenanes so far. As you can see, even the structure, the way they have built it, the booth, even it has impressive to the business people, business personnel who have come here to showcase their product, especially in agriculture equipment. As you can see, there is various companies, financial institutions, different farmers.
On the other hand, some of the exhibitors expressed their delight at successful showcasing their services and products to various visitors who came to the exhibition.
We are very grateful and happy to participate in this, because it's one among the platforms that we normally use to showcase our very good best practices that we have actually been doing, and that's why we are also working in we always collaborate with the Tanzania Sugar Board with the intention of showcasing the good practices. We are using this Nanenane to ensure that we showcase the opportunities.
We are focusing more on supporting smallholders farmers from the level of production up to the marketing. So our focus more on the 4 pillars. The first pillar is on good agricultural practices, and the second pillar is on reducing post-harvest losses to the community which we are supporting. And the third pillar is the market linkage. We do connect farmer to access a competitive market.
It estimated that more than 800 organizations are here to showcase their products, especially here in Nanenane grounds. And most of the farmers here in Dodoma, they are so much interested with all activities which has been conducted here since day one until the climax of this in Nanenane. Reporting from Dodoma, Peter Mganga, TBC News.
Now, today, as Tanzania celebrates Farmers' Day, well known as Nanenane, honoring the vital contribution of farmers to the nation's economy and culture, this vibrant holiday features fairs, exhibitions, and traditional festivities, showcasing the hard work and resilience of those who cultivate the land. To understand the significance and spirit of this day, Teddy Mparanyanga has prepared the following report.
Every year on August 8th, Tanzania comes alive in a vibrant celebration of its agricultural backbone during Nanenane, or Farmers' Day. This national holiday transcends mere festivity. It is a profound acknowledgement of the critical role that farming plays in the nation's economy, culture, and sustenance. The essence of Nanenane lies not only in recognizing farmers, but also in understanding the rich history and values that underpin this day. The origins of Nanenane can be traced back to the early 1980s, when the Tanzanian government sought to address the challenges facing the agricultural sector. With agriculture being the primary livelihood for over 70% of the population, it was imperative to promote farming practices and improve the conditions for farmers across the country. It was on August 8, 1983, that the first Nanenane celebrations took place, marking a significant shift in how society viewed and valued the contributions of farmers. The name, Nanenane, translates to 88 in Swahili, representing the date of the celebration. The day serves as a reminder of the agricultural struggles and triumphs faced by Tanzanian farmers, who have long been the backbone of the economy, contributing significantly to food security and export revenues. Nanenane is a day filled with festivities, exhibitions, and communal gatherings that showcase the agricultural innovations and achievements of farmers. National and local agricultural fairs take place across the country, drawing thousands of attendees, farmers, government officials, and citizens alike. These fairs serve as platforms for farmers to share best practices, learn about new technologies, and showcase their products. The essence of Nanenane is captured in its motto, Kilimo Kwanza, meaning agriculture first. This principle underpins the government's commitment to prioritize agricultural development as a means to achieve economic growth and poverty reduction. The day emphasizes sustainable agriculture, showcasing practices that not only boost productivity, but also safeguard the environment. As Tanzania continues to evolve, the essence of Nanenane remains steadfast, a reminder of the vital role that agriculture plays in the nation's identity, economy, and future. Through the lens of this celebration, Tanzania not only honors its past, but also cultivates hope for a thriving agricultural landscape ahead.
UK has witnessed riots and disorder spreading across the country. The protests are meant to press the government for the repatriation of foreign nationals living in the country. The unrest is accompanied by violence and criminal acts, some involving destroying the properties owned by foreigners and attacking them. Following the situation, TBC News spoke with Tanzanian ambassador in the UK, Mbelwa Kairuki, seeking to determine the safety of Tanzanian citizens living in the country.
Rai kwa Watanzania wote wachukue tahadhari.
We urge Tanzanians living in the UK to avoid crowded areas and not to participate in any protest. And in any case, if they have problems, they should not hesitate to contact the embassy on the numbers we have provided, as well as contact the embassy through our email. The incidents concerning a Tanzanian living in the UK who was concerned about his safety and that was surfacing social media has been dealt with and is now safe.
In other news, Deputy Minister of Home Affairs Daniel Silo says the government plans to conduct interviews with Burundian refugees so as to ensure that the refugees, Tanzanian government and UNHCR reach amicable solution for their voluntary repatriation by January 2025. Here are more details.
The statement was made in Kigoma region by the Deputy Minister of Home Affairs, Daniel Silo, during his visit with the Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs, Social Development and Citizen Security of Burundi, Nibona Bonansinze, in Nyarugusu and Dunta refugee camps. Silo insists that the government will take further steps in the number of refugees who are willing voluntarily to return after the ministers held 2 meetings with the refugees, explaining the security situation in Burundi. The move will also include going door to door to assess each refugee situation. On the other hand, the Deputy Minister of Home Affairs, Social Development and Citizen Security of Burundi, Nibona Bonansize, says the security situation in Burundi has stabilized, allowing daily development activities as usual, urging the refugees to return home to help build the nation economically. He furthermore calls on parents to return so as to ensure that the children receive education and their basic rights. It will be remembered that at the 24th meeting involving the three parties, which include the government of Tanzania, Burundi, and UNHCR, held in November 2023 in Dar es Salaam, of which it was decided that about 2,000 refugees should be returning per week, a goal that has never been achieved.
The president of Tanzania Freight Forwarders Association, TAFA, Edward Urio, says the number of custom agents has increased from 600 in 2017 to 1,300 this year, which is an increase of more than 100%. He made the revelation when he was announcing the 5th edition of the International Conference on Transport and Logistics, which will be held in Dar es Salaam, emphasizing that if given priority, the transport sector could have more impact on the value chain of development projects in the country.
If you look at the industry that has continued to grow in partnership with our East African community associations, we have continued to increase the capacity of our members so that they continue to be more competitive, but they can also have ease on participating with private sector's investors who came to our ports, including DP World's and the Adan port.
The 6th phase government has invested and continues to invest a large amount in the shipping sector. We have seen the development of ports, we have seen the development of railways, the development of airports, and the development of road transports. So now Tanzania continues to become the main shipping gateway in the community of East Africa. Therefore, an important time for shipping industry stakeholders to excite the opportunity.
The meeting is expected to involve more than 500 local and international stakeholders. The meeting is expected to involve more than 500 local and international stakeholders in the sector, and the issue of sustainability of the sector is expected to be one of the main agendas. Minister of State, Vice President's Office, Union and Environment, Dr. Ashatu Kijaji, urges Tanzanians to take advantage of the opportunities available in the environmental protection sector to increase their income and raise themselves economically. Here are more details.
Dr. Kijaji made the call today while visiting the Nanenane Fair during its climax celebrations today, held nationally at the Nanenane grounds, Nzuguni in Dodoma. Minister Kijaji says in order to ensure that the environmental conservation continues to benefit more Tanzanians, her ministry has identified 6 strategic priorities and has announced them through exhibitions and other social activities, calling on the citizens to capitalize on the opportunities. She furthermore mentioned some of the strategic priorities to be the carbon business, which is currently gaining momentum in the country, and where the government has prepared various regulations and guidelines aiming at benefiting Tanzanians. Other key areas include the blue economy and solid waste processing system through recycling technology.
Now it is time for the latest in international news. And here is international news as compiled and read to you by Nyambona Masamba.
International news starts in Kenya. Kenyan President William Ruto is facing the biggest crisis of his 2 years in office. Hundreds of protesters have gathered in the capital Nairobi yet again to call for his resignation. Police have fired tear gas. The unrest began in June with rallies against the controversial finance bill that will raise tax. Ruto deployed the army and crackdown that killed at least 60 people. Finally, in response to the protesters' demand, Ruto scrapped the bill and reshuffled his cabinet. Many unions are calling for justice for the activists killed and an end to what they say is endemic government corruption. To Sudan, dozens have died due to flooding in Western Sudan, Officials in West Darfur, which controlled by paramilitary support forces, say thousands of homes were destroyed in El Janina. More heavy rains is forecast this week. From Africa to Asia, a tsunami warning are in place in Japan. That is after a powerful earthquake strike of western coast. The magnitude 6.9 quake struck at the depth of around 30 kilometers and was followed by 7.1 magnitude tremor. There are no immediate report of damage. Government has set up a special task force in response to the quakes. To America, Kamala Harris has addressed the rally in a second U.S. battleground seat as she stepped up for bid for the presidency. Harris and her Democrat running mate Tim Walz have campaigned in Michigan and Wisconsin. Earlier, they told supporters the policies of the Republican rival Donald Trump were damaging to the country. Meanwhile, Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance is also trying to show up voters support the Southwest concern. Donald Trump running mate blamed Kamala Harris for the southern border immigration crisis and for high inflation. Vance stand for abortion and passed comments that suggesting limiting the political power of childless Americans, so his Democrat rival rebel him a award, something he said he wears as a badge for honor. And religious pilgrimage has taken on political significance in Argentina. More than a half of Argentinians are falling into poverty. The country embarked on controversial austerity program. Now, thousands of Catholics conjoin with labor unions and other left-wing groups at the church in the capital. Every year, thousands of people attend the mass, but this time it was different labor union and left-wing groups decided to march from parish towards the presidential palace to protest against the government of Javier Milei.
And now, before we wind up, let's have a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
Hello, this is 24 hours weather forecast from Tanzania Meteorological Authority, starting from tonight, 9 p.m. Wind is expected to flow at the speed of 20 kilometers per hour over Lake Victoria and Lake Nyasa. For Lake Tanganyika, wind is expected to flow at the speed of 30 kilometers per hour, and the state of the lake is expected to be slight to moderate. For Northern Coast, wind is expected to flow at the speed of 30 kilometers per hour, while for Southern Coast, wind is expected to flow at the speed of 20 kilometers per hour, and the state of the sea is expected to be slight to moderate. And now let us see of the weather details, and this is what we expect for tonight. The entire country is expected to be dry, and we expect cooler to colder temperatures over most parts of the country, especially over southwestern highlands, of which the lowest minimum temperature is expected to reach 5 degrees of centigrade over Mbeya region, followed by 7 degrees of centigrade over Njombe region. For Lake Victoria Basin, western parts of the country, central parts of the country, and southern region, minimum temperature is expected to reach 11 to 18 degrees of centigrade, while for the entire coast, minimum temperature is expected to reach 18 to 25 degrees of centigrade. And now let us see of what we expect for tomorrow. For Kagera, Geita, Mwanza, Simiu, and Mara region, we expect partly cloud condition and the showers of a few areas and sun periods. For Tanga, together with Pemba and the Unguja Islands, we expect partly cloud condition, light rain showers of a few areas and sun periods. And the remaining parts of the country, we expect partly cloud condition and sun periods. And now let us take a look of the next 4 days weather forecast. For Dar es Salaam, we expect sun periods and light rain with minimum temperature of 20 degrees of centigrade. Dodoma, we expect sun period with minimum temperature of 15 degrees of centigrade. Mbeya, we expect sun period with minimum temperature of 5 degrees of centigrade. Mwanza, we expect sun period with minimum temperature of 15 and 16 degrees of centigrade. Kilimanjaro, we expect sun period with minimum temperature of 13 and 12 degrees of centigrade. Morogoro, we expect sun period with minimum temperature of 16 and 15 degrees of centigrade. Arusha, we expect sun period with minimum temperature of 14 degrees of centigrade. And that's all for today. Make sure to catch up again tomorrow. From Tanzania Meteorological Authority, my name is Mariam Fares. Bye-bye.
And that marks the end of the news bulletin for tonight. But don't miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I am Faida Ngaga. Good night.
Watazamaji wa TBC1, bado tu na maonyesho ya wakulima Nanenane yanayofanyika hapa kitaifa hapa mjini Dodoma. Hapa sasa tumefika katika